Common spices built the world's first global empire. That empire began in a place completely cut off from the world. The remote Banda Islands. For centuries, this was the only place on Earth where the world's most valuable spices grew. Nutmeg and mace were found nowhere else. Nature had created a monopoly that no human could break. To the European monarchs, this wasn't just food. It was black gold. It preserved meat in the rotting cold of winter. It masked the taste of spoiled food. It was a matter of survival. The demand was insatiable. Prices for a single pound of nutmeg reached the cost of a good horse. Kings and queens would kill for just a few grains of this precious powder. These islands sat on the edge of the known world. The storms were too violent for most ships. The distance was too great for any conqueror. They were perfectly hidden in plain sight. The landscape was lush and green. Volcanoes towered over the fertile valleys. The air was thick with the scent of spices. It looked like a paradise on earth, waiting for discovery. But the isolation was about to end. Portuguese explorers finally spotted the horizon. They had crossed the ocean to find this mythical land. The silence of the islands was about to be broken. The local Bandanese people watched the strange ships approach. They had never seen such tall wooden vessels. The local rulers welcomed the visitors with open arms, unaware of the danger ahead. As the sun set over the horizon, the Portuguese and Dutch fleets began their descent upon the unsuspecting islands of Maluku and Banda. The year was 1602, and the stakes were higher than ever before. The VOC, or Dutch East India Company, had been secretly negotiating with the Spanish monarch to eliminate the competition and secure a monopoly on the lucrative spice trade. But the Portuguese were not to be underestimated, and a fierce battle ensued. The Dutch had assembled a formidable force, with 14 ships and over 1,000 seasoned sailors. But the Portuguese had the advantage of being the first to arrive. The Bandanese people, who had lived on the islands for centuries, were caught in the crossfire and suffered greatly. The VOC, realizing the strategic importance of the islands, quickly established a foothold and began to exploit the local resources. The Dutch were ruthless in their pursuit of profit, and the Bandanese people suffered greatly under their rule. The Portuguese, realizing they had underestimated the Dutch, retreated in disarray, leaving the VOC to consolidate its power. The Dutch had secured a monopoly on the spice trade, and the fate of the Bandanese people was sealed. A storm-tossed ship cuts through black waves under a blood-red moon. By the way, if you like this discussion, don't forget to subscribe. There are many more interesting topics coming up. Light bulb. Columbus's log reads, "We seek spices beyond the edge of the known world." The mapmaker's ink blots reveal a hidden truth. The Spice Islands lie west. Columbus's voyage wasn't about gold. It was about a single spice's power. The Dutch East India Company would later pay a fortune for this tiny island's bounty. Manhattan Island, a landmass the size of a small town, traded for a handful. The Dutch didn't just want nutmeg. They wanted control of the world's spice trade. Every European power, Spain, Portugal, England, saw these islands as their ticket to dominance. The Dutch would burn villages. The Portuguese would enslave, all for a single spice's power. The Spice Islands became the center of a global storm no one could escape. One spice, one tiny island, a handful of nutmeg could rewrite history forever. Columbus's voyage wasn't just about finding a new route. It was about claiming a legacy. The Dutch would later build an empire on the back of these island secrets. Every empire built on spice would eventually crumble. But the islands remained silent. What if the real story of these islands isn't about conquest, but about resilience? The Spice Islands didn't just change the world. They changed everything. But what if the true power of these islands wasn't in the spices they gave, but in the stories they kept? The year was 1761, and the Dutch East India Company, known as the Verenigd Oost-Indisch Company, or VOC, was on the brink of a major transformation. The VOC had been trading with the islands of Maluku and Banda for decades. But the arrival of the first VOC ship, the Mauritius, marked a new era in global commerce. This tiny company, born from the ashes of the Dutch East India Company, would go on to become the largest and most powerful trading company in the world. As the VOC's influence spread across the globe, it established a network of trade routes that connected the East and West. The company's ships sailed across the vast oceans, carrying exotic spices, textiles, and other precious commodities to the markets of Europe. But the VOC's true power lay not in its ships or its trade routes, but in its ability to manipulate the global economy. By controlling the supply of spices, the VOC could dictate the prices of goods across the world, amassing vast fortunes in the process. The VOC's influence extended far beyond the realm of trade and commerce. It played a significant role in shaping the modern economic system, and its legacy can still be seen in the global economy today. The company's innovative financial instruments, such as the first stock options and futures contracts, paved the way for modern-day derivatives. The VOC's use of advanced accounting techniques, like double-entry bookkeeping, set a new standard for financial management. The VOC's impact on the world was not without controversy. However, the company's aggressive expansion and its treatment of local populations raised concerns about its moral and social responsibility. Critics argued that the VOC's pursuit of profit and power came at the expense of the very people it claimed to serve. The company's legacy serves as a reminder that the pursuit of wealth and power can have unintended consequences, and that the true cost of progress can be hidden in the shadows. In the present day, the islands of Maluku and Banda remain their pivotal role in shaping global history. Their silence a poignant reminder of the power of small local resources to dictate the course of human events. As we reflect on the enduring legacy of Indonesian heritage, we are reminded of the countless stories and struggles that have unfolded on these islands. Their complex history are rich of cultural exchange, economic influence, and human resilience. From the arrival of European explorers to the establishment of the Dutch East India Company, the history of Maluku and Banda is a fascinating tale of how small islands can hold the key to unlocking global power dynamics. Their resources coveted by empires and nations. As we ponder the profound impact of these islands on modern global politics and economics, we are struck by the sheer scale of their influence, from the birth of the Amsterdam Stock Exchange to the shaping of modern capitalism. Their legacy are the enduring power of human ingenuity and resourcefulness. In the end, the story of Maluku and Banda serves as a powerful reminder of the incredible impact that small, seemingly insignificant events can have on the course of human history. Their legacy are the enduring power of human creativity and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. What is the dark truth behind this event? Share your theory below and watch our next investigation. Hi everyone! Quick reminder, subscribe for high-quality daily content. Sparkle subscribe now before the next video. We have a special upload tomorrow. High voltage.